Hi guys, I'm Marcus Trusty, the founder and president of CORE, and I am with Chad Hickson, the executive director of the TPA, Trails Preservation Alliance. We're coming to you from the CORE Worldwide Headquarters, also known as my garage.
Thanks a lot, Marcus. Yeah, it's great to be back here up in sunny Buena Vista, Colorado.
Right.
Not so sunny today, but we're here to speak to you today on behalf of the Trails Preservation Alliance, COVCO, Colorado Off-Highway Vehicle Coalition, CORE, Colorado Off-Road Enterprise, and CSA, Colorado Snowmobile Association.
So we're here today to give you a little bit of an update on the GMUG Forest Plan, and that's Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forest. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, we produced the first video with a little bit of the overview and the background of what that is and how that process is going. That'll be accompanying this video, so you can watch that to find out, more information about what we're talking about and to get some more background. But just really quick, we'll just have Chad tell you a little bit about what a forest plan is.
Yeah, and so a forest plan, what's happening in the GMUG, the last forest plan that was done 38 years ago, back in 1983. So this hasn't been done in nearly 4 decades. And a forest plan, you want to think of it just similar to a city or a county zoning process. So what the forest is doing is defining zones in the forest on how they want to manage that land into the decades to come.
So some of you guys may remember in our first video, we brought up several concerns that the motorized community had with the plan, inaccuracies, and some of the mismapping that didn't represent what is currently happening under active management on the ground. And the forest took that information and then had a meeting that we just attended several days ago.
Yeah, Marcus. Last week, the forest held a virtual meeting for recreation settings. It's an open house where we all got to hear more about the ROS, which is the Recreation Opportunity Spectrum, and that is the zones in which the forest will be managed into the decades to come. And so what we discussed was the mapping and issues that we might have around whatever current management is or what the alternatives might have. So the specific ROS that we are most concerned about are semi-primitive, non-motorized, which would be the light green on the map, and also the semi-primitive motorized, which is more like the yellow brownish color on the map.
So in that meeting with the Forest Service, that virtual meeting that Chad just talked about, Patrick McKay from CORE, he's on the CORE Advisory Board and the Vice President of Colorado Off-Road Trail Defenders, asked a series of very detailed, very good questions of the forest planner with respect to those inaccuracies that we just spoke about. They gave us an idea on their intent. Watch this clip.
Thanks, Patrick. I mean, we've talked about, thank you for the question. And again, we want to take a closer look at that and see if we just didn't buffer things as we intended to. But for all those routes, our goal, I think, is a foundational goal. Hopefully the rec staff will agree with me that we don't intend to map any desired non-motorized area overlapping an existing motorized route. That is not the intention going forward. To establish a desired condition that would be incompatible with existing uses sets us up to fail. So we don't want that, and that's why we're looking like, where are there mistakes out there? Because we know our travel data isn't perfect, but we've done a lot of work, like years of work, trying to get it better and better for this purpose. So there's that. So that's that part of the question. I hope that helps. Calm, because our intent is not to set up an incompatibility.
So we feel pretty good about that they understood our concerns, that their intent is not to overlay any existing motorized routes with a non-motorized zone and change anything that is currently being managed for motorized.
So with that in mind, alternative C is the best one, and that's the one we are recommending for motorized use. It has the least amount of ROS settings in it, so it allows for more active management of the forest into the future. Things like other natural disasters, fires, floods, landslides, things that might that we can't foresee that might alter a route that it needs to be changed. It allows for more flexibility in the plan. It also appears to be the closest thing that we have to current management, and the current management is largely acceptable by us.
Right. So to build off what Chad's saying, let's give you guys a really quick example. Take a look at these overlays here. These are right outside of the town of White Pine. To the north is Tamichi Pass, Brito Silver Basin, then goes down into Middle Quartz Creek that would head down towards Pitkin. So you can see in this first image, this is alternative C. And you can see that in the brown zone, that is all semi-primitive motorized recreation. And it's a zone that encompasses all of those routes. Now contrast this with, here's the same screenshot area of alternative B. And you can see that all of those routes are essentially cherry stemmed in the brown zone. And then they have the non-motorized, semi-primitive non-motorized light green zones around them. And so the reason we're supporting C, as Chad just said, is that if anything happens in those areas, there's no opportunities to reroute a trail or to build a new connector or to provide a solution to that outside of those very small zones. And as you guys already know, we've dealt with avalanche issues over there, landslide issues already on a number of those trails. And as he said, we can't predict the future. So what if there's a forest fire over there and it alters the landscape? What we don't want to have happen is for us to be put in a box where if something major happens to a trail, we lose that because we don't have an option anymore of how to deal with it.
Yeah, so we're going to move forward in supporting alternative C for the reasons we just stated, but we also have some issues with it. So we need to make some modifications to it. And one of those major modifications has to do with the ROS settings in alternative C, where we have motorized routes, some very high profile motorized routes within a semi-primitive non-motorized ROS setting, or the light green.
Right, so we need to correct that, and there's a lot of them out there, but some of the really high profile ones that are in a non-motorized zone for the 4x4 community is Ophir Pass. Right off the bat, that's one of the first ones we noticed. That is, a highly traveled route, very desirable. It's a Jeep Badge of Honor trail, and it's part of the backcountry discovery route. So that's obviously a mistake on their part, and we need to fix that. And then you can see here, there are major issues all over. So alternative C, Black Bear Pass and Imogene are 100% in semi-primitive non-motorized zones. If you flip that over to Alt B, it cherry stems all of Black Bear, most of Imogene, but there's still a section on the Uray side of Imogene that goes through a semi-primitive non-motorized zone that is not accounted for. These are the errors that are all over this plan. You look here at another one. Here's Engineer Pass and Poughkeepsie Gulch, and in alternative C, that is all in a semi-primitive non-motorized zone. And then in alternative B, they've cherry stemmed, except for the end of Poughkeepsie. It still doesn't go all the way through in a full motorized zone. It would cross a small section of non-motorized, semi-primitive non-motorized, the light green area. This is what we have to tell them. They're all over the place in any one of these alternatives. Nothing has everything correct.
Yeah, and from a single track perspective, in the Greater Sargents area, Taylor Park, we have a Fossil Ridge Trail, Cameron Gulch, and the Gold Creek trails also fall within a semi-primitive non-motorized ROS setting. So we want to make specific comments that needs to be changed.
So what we need you to do with that is get on the link included with this video for the project page. You can click on their storyboard map, which is where we provided all these screenshots to show you. It's a really good map, and it works very, very well. So click on the Alternative C tab to bring up all of the color-coded ROS zones on Alternative C. And then in the areas that you frequent and you know really well, just scan through there and see if any of the roads or trails, motorized roads or trails that you use are in non-motorized zones. And then we need to make a note to tell them that.
Along with those points, other major modifications we would like to see in Alternative C would include, one, we would like verbiage from Alternative B that protects the motorized access around the corridor of the Continental Divide National Scenic Trail, which is a big issue throughout the GMUG. So we would like that verbiage added into alternative C. And also, we would like more consistency with the wildlife management areas and the data that CPW provides on population densities.
Sure. And if you don't recognize any areas or trails that are in non-motorized zones, what you can do is still comment and just reference that you support the TPA, COVCO, Colorado Snowmobile Association, and CORS comments. We'll be providing highly detailed comments on all of these specifics. And so if you don't know them, you can still make a comment and then just reference that you are supporting all of our comments that we're going to submit. So here's what we need you to do. We laid it out for you. It's very simple. These are the steps you need to take to submit a comment.
Yeah, so what the easiest thing to do here is you want to use the comment box, tell the forest who you are, the recreational opportunities you seek in the GMUG area, any errors you found looking through the ROS, the maps, and the following points that we outlined in our video here.
All right, so all the links, all the information is included with this video. So please follow them. Go down through all of our information. We have it all laid out for you guys what to do. And please help us, plan the future for the GMUG and help them get this forest plan right.